Entering the night, the Orlando Magic were 3 games away from making their first NBA playoff appearance in 4 seasons. Now, what still lies on the table for the Magic and several teams in the East is seeding. The first ever Pop-Tarts Bowl left no pastry unturned. NC State and Kansas State put on a show here at Camping World Stadium. Now, this could be one of the coolest traditions in college football during the bowl season. The Pop-Tarts mascot making a dramatic reveal, almost like a Beyonce concert.
Bring your popcorn. I make people in wheelchairs stand up.
All right, Javon, you want popcorn? We will have popcorn for week 1, and we'll see what you do.
Alex, this is what college football is all about. You got 2 blue bloods, a top 10 showdown here in Orlando, Florida. These teams are loaded with talent from their roster last year.
Carl Larson hasn't had a top 10 finish here since 2021. Hopefully he can change that. Now, recently we also spoke to track president Frank Kelleher, and he loves the excitement that comes around this race. Not because he's just the track president, no, but because he understands the impact this race has on drivers. I got one last question, and I know you're going to give you the coach answer. Week 1 at home versus Edgewater, a win says what about Bishop Moore?
KOC, week 0 against Edgewater. A win says we got a really good football team, absolutely.
As far as the top 3 picks, it could all be quarterbacks. Caleb Williams could go #1 overall to the Chicago Bears. Jaden Daniels goes 2 to the Commanders, and Drake May to the Patriots. Now, after that, we could see a trade down with the Chargers at 5. Several teams may take a chance on a guy like Washington quarterback Michael Penix Jr. or Oregon quarterback Bo Nix.
You are at the forefront for UCF when it comes to the rev share, NIL, transfer portal. I think it's interesting. What's your perspective as an administrator, but also as a parent of a kid who wants to play in college? You know, what's some of the advice you're maybe giving him, or how are you monitoring that as a parent, but also as an administrator on the collegiate side?
Well, I'm on both sides, and I would say that college football right now is very transactional.
Around this time last year, I asked you what were your goals as a rookie. You said you wanted to be the NBA Rookie of the Year. You did that. Now with a year under your belt, what's next for you in year 2?
I think for me, as far as individual goals, I want to be an all-star.
Coming across the finish line, a magical moment of history. Daniel Dos Santos wins the 30th running of the Walt Disney World Marathon on the men's side. 18 wins in your first 2 years, 2 bowl game invitations. You beat Florida in your first year in the Gasparilla Bowl. You beat 2 top 25 teams last year. Are you proud of what you've done so far, or do you kind of look back like, could have done just a little bit more?
Yeah, the first year, we had so many crazy injuries.
Edgewater and Jones, it goes without saying. We've seen both of those programs up here. They're loaded with talent, D1 talent all over that roster, and I think they're going to have an incredible season. As far as the typical guys that are going to be at the top, Edgewater, Jones, I think West Orange is going to have a good season. I think Dr. Phillips could. They lost a lot.
Right. So
it'll be interesting to see what happens with them. Let's kick it over to the set here. The guys who kind of spearheaded this whole thing as the Mount Rushmore of high school football, Dan LaForest, Influencer Council Director. The City Beautiful welcomes the nation's elite male and female long-distance runners for the 2024 U.S. Olympic Team Trials Marathon. The runners will compete on a course that goes through downtown Orlando. Now, the Miami Dolphins have built an offense that seems just impossible to stop. Head coach Mike McDaniel took over the Dolphins in February of last year. Most importantly, he's helped rebuild Tua's confidence. Today, we saw the Fins at their best today against the Denver Broncos. No Jalen Waddle today, but that wouldn't matter